Hello YouTube. Here's a quick quote that I would like to start off the video with. A car isn't just a vehicle, but the journey it takes you on defines your destination. With that being said, today I'd like to talk about some life lessons I've learned after owning my 2015 Lincoln MKZ Hybrid for about 6 years now. This is not all about the vehicle, but more of a personal growth journey with the MKZ. I know many of you are watching without subscribing, so please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. It really helps motivate me with the content creation aspect. If you want to connect with other Lincoln MKZ owners, you should check out the Real Lincoln MKZ Facebook group online. Anyways, let's get on with the video, shall we? Lesson 1. Saving money. Before I got my Lincoln MKZ in 2019, I was driving a 2015 Hyundai Genesis with the 5-liter V8 engine. That car was a blast to drive, and it really fed my ego when hanging out with my friends. I was the coolest 20-year-old in my friend group. My friends were driving Honda Civics, Volkswagen Jettas at the time, so having a newer V8 sedan for the time was a big deal. I would street race and drive the Genesis like I stole it. And that's what a 20-year-old would do if he's got a V8. But this all came at a price. Fuel costs were getting to me. I was paying close to $100 every time I'd fill with mid-grade gasoline. That really impacted my finances, as I could only afford to drive to work and back and the occasional hangout with a friend. I couldn't drive it anywhere else because being a V8, the thing just drank gas, and I couldn't afford to keep it up. I was very unhappy, I couldn't go anywhere, but on the outside, he's got a nice car, right? Fast forward to early 2019, I got into an accident which totaled my Genesis. I was doing okay, nothing happened to me, but 21-year-old me couldn't accept it. My fame ended, and I couldn't look cool in front of my friends anymore. That was how immature I was. So I started looking at used luxury vehicles, and I test drove a Jaguar XJ, a BMW 7 Series, and the last on my list was the Lincoln MKZ Hybrid. I knew how unreliable the Jaguar was, but I still wanted it because it was a damn sexy vehicle. I was thinking to myself of how the Jaguar could get me women, like the Genesis ever did in the first place. I didn't like the look of the Lincoln MKZ at all compared to the Jaguar and the BMW. I wanted the Jaguar so bad, but something inside me told me to give the MKZ a try. I gave it a shot, I test drove it, and was actually quite surprised. It didn't drive as nice as the Jaguar or the BMW, but one thing it had that the others didn't was the hybrid engine that took regular fuel. At that time, I really didn't think much about the hybrid powertrain, nor did I do research on it. But one thing I knew was that the maintenance cost will be a lot cheaper on the Lincoln compared to the BMW or Jaguar. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the MKZ, and in April of 2019, I got my MKZ. I remember driving it from the dealership the first time after buying it, and the gas was almost empty, right? So I filled it up with a full tank of gas, and to my surprise, it only costed $45 from near empty to a full tank of gas. I was so shocked, I couldn't believe it. And best of all, it gave me close to 700 kilometers and even more of driving range, which is almost 200 kilometers more than the Genesis would give me at almost double the price it cost to fill the MKZ. That was a groundbreaking moment for me. I wish I got this car instead of the Genesis. Not only was I saving so much money on gas, I started driving more and exploring new places that I've never been before. Not only that, I learned how to manage my money better than before. I started saving money, and it felt really good as I was still able to enjoy life and not just spend all my money on gas. I was fulfilled. The moral of the lesson is to look at the bigger picture and be thankful. Lesson 2, I learned patience and discipline. The Lincoln MKZ Hybrid is a hybrid, so it's not a fast car at all. With only 188 horsepower, this was a significant downgrade from my Genesis when it came to power. I absolutely hated this when I got my MKZ, because I couldn't race anyone or show off to my friends. I was always tempted to race people on the highway, but I knew I wasn't going to win a single race. This taught me a lot of discipline, and it also made me a better driver. Why put others at risk trying to race people? Now I got a Tesla Model 3 Performance, which has almost triple the horsepower of the MKZ, and I'm very responsible with it. I don't willingly race anyone. I'm a calm, composed driver now. Even though all that instant power and torque can be tempting on the Tesla, it really makes you appreciate the progress and upgrades when they come, which in turn creates a deeper sense of fulfillment. Anyways, talking about discipline. When I was younger, I've always thought that getting a nice car will get you all the women, which is one of the reasons why I got the Genesis in the first place. All these influencers, rap artists, and celebrities have put a picture in young men's mind that driving nice cars will get you all the women. But in reality, it's not the case. I didn't get any women when I owned my Genesis. I just got a lot of compliments from old men. I was disappointed because the supposed recipe to get women wasn't working. When I got my Lincoln MKZ, I already knew the women game was over because first of all, it's a Lincoln and not a Mercedes or BMW. Second, the name Lincoln subsides a lot with older people. And also, it's not fast or loud. After getting the MKZ, I was committed to it. I couldn't just buy another faster car because I had no money. It was this feeling of quote-unquote being stuck with this Lincoln is what's fueled my self-development. I wasn't getting girls, not because my car wasn't flashy enough, it was because of my lack of personality and character. If you want a high-value woman, develop your character. Developing your character is the foundation for attracting and maintaining meaningful relationships, not having a flashy car. My Lincoln MKZ has taught me to value what I have instead of focusing on what I lack. It constantly reminded me that my worth isn't tied to materialistic possessions. I also started to focus on what truly matters in life, like relationships, goals, and experiences over temporary status symbols. Sure, a flashy car can attract women initially, but a high-value woman will look past that and investigate more into who's behind the wheel. Last but not least, my YouTube career. My Lincoln MKZ Hybrid is the vehicle that started my YouTube career. People were either so curious as to what this car is, or just wanted to see how reliable they were. I've gained an overwhelming amount of support from all my followers who love the MKZ, and I couldn't be here without the MKZ. My YouTube channel is constantly growing because of the MKZ. In fact, my most viewed video has over 140,000 views, which is insane for a small YouTuber like me. I hated the MKZ at first. It's not fast, it's not that well built, but as time went by, I have to say that the MKZ will go down as one of my favorite cars I've owned. That's going to be it for today's video, folks. Thanks for listening to my story with the MKZ. I'd like to hear your story in the comments down below. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you all next time.